Hello everybody, this is Danny from Deep South Homestead. We have finally made it to the end of installing our Ponderosa wood stove. As you notice here, I'm preparing to build a fire in it. Our first fire. They come from the factory, they're painted, so you have to start some small fires, kind of burn that paint scent off of them. And this is a learning curve for us here because our other stoves had grating in the bottom of it, and we have no grating in this one, so we're having to learn how to restack our wood and put our fat pine lighter in there so that we can get our fire going. We don't want to burn too hot of a fire to start with. We kind of want to burn 2 or 3 small fires in it. One to help get everything kind of situated in the stove as far as expansion and contraction is concerned with the heat, with the bricks and stuff, and then we want to be able to burn this coating off of it so that it doesn't leave that horrible scent in the house when we get ready to build a good fire in it. And that's what we're doing at this point. We're just trying to build a small fire, something to, like I said, just kind of help heat it up a little bit and burn some of this paint off. You notice I'm not using anything big. I'm using small wood here because it will burn up fairly quick. We're trying to get that piled in there, and we want to let you be able to see how fast actually using the fat pine lighter will actually start a fire. We're going to show you here. That's one of the reasons we use it, is because of how well it lights and how well it starts a fire. We do not recommend using paper in a wood heater or a fireplace. I know a lot of people do that, but it's not recommended by the manufacturer to do that. With paper, I have tried it in a chimney before. It can go up and get stopped the top of your pipe up, and then you can end up with a chimney fire or smoke back into the house. As you can see here how fast the lighter wood has caused it to actually get going. We're going to let this fire burn for just a few minutes here, and then we're going to burn our second fire in it, or actually it'll be our third fire. We burnt one in between these two. We're going to burn our third fire and let y'all see what it actually looks like. We're so happy to have this installed here at Deep South Homestead. There's the stove installed now. We've been kind of doing some real small fires in it to kind of start seasoning it and getting it kind of acclimated. So this morning we're going to build us a fire in there, and we always use the fat pine lighter, and I've learned this one doesn't have a grating in the bottom of it, so I have to learn how to restack my wood in it. In order to start the fire, I got to lay a couple of sticks crossways like that, and then one flat way, so that when I put my wood in here, my lighter wood, and we use fat pine lighter like this. We just take it and splinter it up. I never put paper in a wood heater. I never put paper in a fireplace. You're not supposed to. It's not recommended. We use the fat pine lighter. We put in there, and then we use lots of small stuff, kindling wood, like to get it started here. I just lay little pieces of wood on here. So they're kind of crossed up and everything. We want it where when the fire gets going, it can actually breathe, because that's the secret to a good fire, is it being able to breathe. And all I'm interested in right at this point in building a fire is just getting a little bit of a bed of coal started so that I can have something to lay my bigger wood on. Now we have our draft pulled out from the vent pipe in the back. We have the air wash. There's an air wash line right here where air blows into it to keep the glass from getting too messed up. We have that open and the other draft open. We're going to light a fire here. Kind of show you why we use fat pine lighter. Fat pine lighter will burn for 10 to 15 minutes at a very hot temperature, and it gets this other wood going. Now we may have to temporarily close the door just a little bit in order to heat the pipe up, because it's 26 feet of pipe that's got to be heated up in order to get a draft going, so we don't get any kind of smoke back out into the house. Lay me another little piece right over here. You can see how easy it is to start a fire using fat pine lighter. And at Deep South we do have fat pine lighter for sale if any of y'all should want a pack of it. You can go to our Etsy store and it's there. It makes it extremely easy to start a fire with. You don't have to worry about coming up with something to get a fire going. That's how simple it is to start a fire in a Ponderosa stove. Now, it won't be but just a matter of minutes, and this stove will be so hot, and that's what we love about it. And the fact that it gets that hot that quick, and it doesn't burn the wood up fast. That's another thing we like about it. So we're gonna let it go. We're gonna close the door back and sit back this morning, get our breakfast done, and enjoy our fire at Deep South Homestead. Alright, I want to open the door just a second, let the draft kind of get started up the chimney before I open it all the way up. And now we've got us a little bit of a bed of coals going here. We don't need a real hot fire this morning, so I'm just going to try to put some small pieces on here just to get us through the chilly part of the morning, because this thing will burn for a while. That's about all we're going to put in there. We're going to close it back up, and I'm going to shut this draft. I'm going to leave the air wash in front of the door wide open so it gets as much air as it can in front of the door, but I'm going to close the other draft down just a little bit so that we don't lose so much heat up the pipe there. It'll burn a lot longer. Thank y'all from Deep South Homestead.